If this message appears in front of you today, it is absolutely not a coincidence. There are moments in life when a single phrase can change everything. The one you are experiencing right now is one of them. Stop for just a second. Take a deep breath. Silence all the noise buzzing inside you, because these words are arriving exactly when your soul needs them most and when your heart is finally ready to receive them without resistance. You have gone through truly heavy trials. You have waited far longer than you ever thought you could endure. You have prayed in complete silence, cried away from prying eyes, and kept moving forward even when you felt like there wasn't an ounce of strength left in you. And what if, right now, in the next 5 minutes, you left a trace of what you truly feel? Write in the comments, in your own words, one short sentence that comes straight from your heart at this very moment. For example, "I feel something moving inside me," or "I've waited for this moment for far too long," or simply, "Thank you, I am ready." It doesn't need to be long or perfect, just true. Do it now, before your mind takes over again. This small gesture will anchor the energy of this message into your real life, and you'll see something is already shifting inside. You have asked yourself 1,000 times if those prayers were really reaching heaven, if your efforts meant anything, if the passing time was just cruel silence. And yet today, a crystal clear truth emerges. Your hour has come. Not tomorrow, not someday, here, now. This text is not a random coincidence. It marks a clear boundary in your story, a before filled with struggle and waiting, an after where promises begin to take shape. Nothing you have endured was in vain. Every fall that made you bite the dust, every door slammed in your face, every weight that stretched you to the edge of the abyss carried the seed of a greater purpose, an invisible preparation. You couldn't see it then, but a higher force was weaving deep resilience inside you. It refined your character like an artisan polishes a rare stone, aligned your mind with greater visions, harmonized your heart so it beats to the rhythm of what is arriving today. Some graces are too precious to arrive too early. They would overwhelm us instead of lifting us up. This divine intelligence does not delay out of caprice. It orchestrates everything with infinite precision. While you felt stuck in an endless loop, you were actually in accelerated training, forged for heights you never even imagined. Today, this presence whispers to you that it never looked away. It counted your sleepless nights when sleep fled like a thief, gathered your repeated invocations until exhaustion, admired your choice not to give up when everyone else had already turned the page. And now it declares with serene authority, the time to move forward is here. This is the end of a cycle. Goodbye to the pain that gnaws, the confusion that clouds the mind, the weariness that erodes the soul. No, everything won't become perfect overnight, but a new clarity lights your path. You no longer walk blindly. Every step now has direction, a deep purpose, an invisible but tangible support carrying you. Fear may arise, that's human. The unknown always makes us shiver. Yet you are not called to cross this threshold alone. This force goes ahead. It carves paths where there were only walls, restores order to accumulated chaos, heals wounds you thought incurable, revives what you had buried as lost forever. Listen carefully to this revelation. You are no longer yesterday's version of yourself. The trials have made you grow, mature like fruit under patient sunlight. You have mastered blind trust, the kind that holds when evidence is missing. This evolution is what makes you capable of receiving and sustaining what is coming. Gifts that require a solid anchor, unshakable faith, humility that protects from the traps of the ego. If these lines touch you today, it is the sign that you are ready. Forget spectacular signs. These words are already the validation your soul has been waiting for so long. Your era begins. Rise with hope, pulsing like a new heart. Rekindle the flame of belief. Free yourself from the guilt that weighs you down, the fear that paralyzes, the doubt that gnaws. The past is no longer your judge. It was your harshest teacher. The green light is on. Move forward. Try again without counting. Dream big. Trust without a safety net. You no longer are in waiting mode. You vibrate to the rhythm of a greater purpose. Right now, your perception shifts. Impossibilities become passages. Silence fills with subtle answers. Deep weariness gives way to a strength born from within, like spring bursting after an endless winter. Do you feel this trembling inside you as you read? Don't suppress it. It is your essence finally recognizing the truth it has carried from the beginning. Along your journey, there have been abysses where you thought you hit bottom, where giving much and receiving little seemed the rule, where you watched others soar while you stood still. But hear this revelation: you were not late, you were in gestation. Preparation happens in whispers, without applause. No one sees the inner battles, the heartbreaking choices, the sacrifices to preserve your faith. Yet this supreme force saw everything, noted everything. Every step had its role, nothing was wasted. There are seasons when waiting is allowed to root deeply. Solid roots ensure that what comes does not collapse at the first gust of wind. So your frustration back then makes sense today. You were being shaped for the extraordinary. This intelligence does not follow our hurried clocks. It operates with an eternal vision. When it acts, it is thorough, precise, impeccably timed, neither too early nor too late. Here is the call. Release the anxiety that knots you. Stop the comparisons that poison. Embrace the unique rhythm of your story, as precious as any other. What awaits you needs no external approval. It requires your dynamic faith, your wide-open heart. Perhaps you mastered the art of surviving, but the hour has come to live fully, with peace that calms storms, confidence that illuminates doubts, the certainty that you are never alone. This presence accompanies you in every turn, every stride, every rebirth. When it opens a way, no one can close it. When it seals a chapter, it is to inaugurate a brighter one. Do not fear transformations. Those guided by the divine always lead to expansion, even if the beginning seems dark. Hear this clearly. This is not punishment, it is elevation. But spiritual ascent begins from within. That is why it worked on you in the shadows, taught you trust without visibility, strengthened your being before entrusting you with new responsibilities. Today, affirm your conviction. Proclaim that you believe in what is being woven, even if the full picture remains veiled. Faith does not wait for proof to leap. It jumps first, and the miracle follows. If these lines touch you today, pause a moment and write in the comments from the depths of your being, "I trust in God's timing." This is not a futile gesture. It is an anchor for your mind, an alignment with truth, a recognition that your story rests in wise hands. Remember, what is coming will bear no resemblance to the past. It will be stronger, more rooted, more in harmony with your current essence. You have evolved, more wisdom, more clarity, more inner power. This is the moment to believe without chains, to advance without remorse, to receive without hesitation, because blessings don't fall out of pity, they serve a plan, and your plan is still pulsing, more alive than ever.
Grasp this deeply. You did not arrive here through exhaustion, but through maturity. Not because options are lacking, but because you are now ready to choose wisely. What you once begged for in panic, you can now receive with balance. For a long time, you pleaded for answers, signs, clarity. Heaven seemed silent, but in truth, it was watching how you reacted in uncertainty. Because real growth is born when you choose trust without understanding. These lines break an old lie. You are not late. You have not missed your calling. Everything unfolded in divine order. Even missteps served as lessons, corrections, bridges toward greater spiritual closeness. Some doors open not by brute force, but by surrender. You learned that, obeying even without the full map. That positioned you perfectly for this new phase. Now order settles into chaotic areas. Toxic ties lose their grip. Dark thoughts fade. Draining habits release their hold. This is not random. It is essential cleansing to welcome the new. Guard your thoughts and words, because what is coming is sensitive to your faith vibration. Do not let doubt sabotage the confirmations already given. Avoid old patterns out of inertia. Refuse to stagnate when the call is to progress. Perfection is not required, only availability matters. And your availability shines today. You chose to be reborn in belief, to rise again, to persist. That activates powerful favor. Perhaps the outside is slow to change, but the inside has already shifted. And when the inside aligns, the world inevitably follows. True transformation sprouts from within. Here is the invitation. Stay anchored. Do not retreat mentally. Do not let fear dictate your choices. You were not brought this far for half work. What begins is completed. Waiting fades, but commitment is born. You will walk with greater spiritual responsibility, greater vigilance, greater awareness of who you are and where you are going. Do not underestimate this moment. Decisions here will shape years. You will need serenity to choose, wisdom to act, perseverance through faith, and all of this will be granted if your heart remains open. If these words resonate, write in the comments, "I believe in what God is doing in me." This affirms your forward movement without retreat, without doubt, with early trust. What is being prepared is stable, lasting. You will understand why the delay. Your time is not only here, it is held by an infallible hand. Understand clearly, when it says your time is here, it implies not only receiving, but sustaining. A blessing requires strength to keep it, manage it, cherish it with gratitude. In the past, you prayed for relief. Today, you are offered guidance to escape suffering, but also to walk with intention. What is coming expands your horizon, not just fills a void. The process was deep because it reshaped your being, not just your desires. Others lose opportunities for lack of healing, but you worked in silence, in isolation, without witnesses. That changes everything. From now on, greater divine trust, increased clarity, expanded responsibilities, multiplied impact. Keep your heart aligned. No pride at first fruits, no insecurity in challenges. Remember where you come from and who sustained you. You were lifted to enlighten, testify, inspire, not to dominate. What you will live will touch beyond you, unsuspected souls. Perhaps you now understand why some people drifted away. Protection, not rejection. Liberation, not loss. The path is cleared of unnecessary burdens. Walk light, without past guilt, without superfluous loads, without inherited fears. No need to defend yourself constantly. Divine support covers when you align with higher will. Stay alert, clear signs, fluid doors, confirming conversations, peaceful ideas. Force nothing. The divine flows without effort. This message positions you. Knowing your time has come, you speak, decide, act differently. From abundance, not lack. If this strengthens your faith, write in the comments, "I accept God's timing for me." This recognizes your non-resistance to change, your trust in the process, your willingness to advance in faith and obedience. Remember, you are not destined for half a life, for an existence full of meaning, peace, guidance. Challenges persist, but you advance clear, certain. What you are living is authentic. Do not minimize it. Your faith moves from words to experience. In this phase, change your inner dialogue. You have been hard on yourself, demanding beyond reason,
flogging yourself for mistakes without honoring your growth. Grace is part of the journey. Do not carry an obsolete version of yourself. She did the best she could with what she knew. Now you know more, see clearer, decide from faith, not fear. This is the era of personal reconciliation. You are not broken, you are in restoration, called by your potential, not your flaws. The divine future ignores mistakes, honors promises. Wounds may linger, memories return, old words still hurt, but nothing surpasses the divine truth over you, defined by love, not rejection. Move from emotional survival to intentional healing. Healing doesn't erase, it stops the inner bleeding. Allow divine touch on areas avoided out of fear. Healed, you advance lighter. Release guilt, shame, comparison, useless for what is coming. This requires a renewed mind, an anchored identity, knowing who you are despite storms, based on divine word, not your deeds. No need for human approval for your path. Obey the loving and true voice. Doubts will arise. Do not condemn yourself. Faith chooses trust despite them and strengthens with each choice. If peace rises, write, "I am ready to advance with God." This affirms your liberation from the past, your choice to heal, believe, hope. Do not minimize the inner work. The greatest miracles are often invisible at first, but they sustain everything. This is not the end, it is the beginning of a conscious, aligned, meaningful life. You no longer walk alone. Before closing, anchor this. This presence doesn't awaken your faith to abandon you. If you are reading, it is already working, even imperceptibly. Heaven is moving. Walk calm but determined, without anxious haste, without fearful halt. Trust step by step. Each day it's grace, each faithful choice supported. Not everything easy, but everything meaningful. Challenges now affirm, strengthen, because you know who carries you. Nothing stops a divine promise, neither circumstances, nor people, nor past, nor mistakes. If your time is declared, everything is aligned. Guard your faith as precious. Protect it from noise, from negativity. Surround yourself with truth. Feed your spirit. Stay sensitive to the voice. Clear days, give thanks. Silent days, trust. Fidelity endures. This message reminds you of your identity and direction. You are exactly where you need to be. Close your eyes, acknowledge. Sustained until now, you will be sustained still. If touched, write, "My time has come. I trust in God." May this infuse your life, your choices, your belief. Walk in peace, advance in faith. The best is not behind, it emerges now.